Even when I don't see him, he's working.
Come on. Amen.
Sometimes even when I don't feel it, he's still working. My mind immediately went to the prophet who had just stood in front of the false gods of that land and watched God miraculously destroy 850 false prophets. And then it came time to do what he was called to do. He began to pray that the Lord would open up the heavens and it would begin to rain. And he sent his little servant up on the hill and said, go look and see what you see. He came back. He said, I don't see anything. He sent him 7 times. On the 7th time he came back, he said, I see the cloud the size of a man's hand. Was God working the first time? When Daniel prayed, and he didn't get his answer for 21 days, was God working on the first day? Even when we don't see him, he's working. Don't give up. Don't lose faith. Don't be weary in well-doing. As soon as the man came down, he said, I see that cloud. He said, you go tell the king, I hear the abundance of rain. One small cloud with God can bring an abundance of rain. And it went even farther than that. The Holy Spirit fell upon that prophet and he outrun a chariot of horses to get to the town before the king did. I don't know about you, but sometimes the Holy Spirit's get on me and I believe I can outrun a horse or two. How about you? I can understand now why Jesus could walk upon the water, because he had the holy anointing without measure. Woo! Sometimes I believe I can go through walls, climb the highest hills, but that's the Spirit of God. Even when I don't see him, he's working. And he's working in your life. You see, I can't tell what he's doing in your life, but he's working. He's working. I feel all alone. I feel a loneliness beyond belief, some people in this building right now. But God's working. He's working. Give him his chance. Amen. You guys ready for the word? Well, Aaron Walker, come, feed the flock.
After fighting this headset for 5 minutes. Thank you, Brother Jason. Really, if you don't know how to do something, if somebody knows how to do it. I had it turned upside down. It was up this way. Man. There will be a sermon on it in a couple of weeks. Man, it's been an awesome place. It's been an awesome spirit. Praise team truly blessed my heart. When Regina let it go right there, man, I'm telling you, your breakthrough don't stop because the praise team sat down. Just because you might have missed the moment, you think, you're sitting there right now. I'm going to touch on this before I move on. You're sitting there right now, and the devil has got you convinced that you missed it. He's telling you it's not going to come again. He's telling you you should have got up. He's telling you you should have went and prayed with that person. He's telling you you should have went to the altar. Let me tell you something. It don't stop. The calling don't stop. And we're going to touch on this today and it kind of fit right in. But just because you think, I've been many times in my life, friend, I thought I missed it. Little did I know he was still working with me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we might have to grow just a little bit more to receive what we want. I mean, how many people in here today want something? I'm not talking physical things. I'm talking spiritual things. What do you want from him today? Do you want a closer walk with him? You know what? And this is what I'm kind of tied in what I'm going to talk about. Have you ever seen somebody and you're like, I want what they got? There have been many times since I've become a preacher that I've looked at these guys on this front row right here, and I've been around for a long time, and I'm like, you know what? I want what he's got. But you know what? You know what Satan will mess with you with sometimes, man? I've already got what he's got. Go ahead, into it. That's what we're going to talk about today. Maybe. Oh, I was going to say, somebody wants to go and read it to me. Oh, man. We're going to open up these scriptures in Psalms 34, and I'm so sorry. I know I didn't give her no scriptures, but I told the pastor at times I gave scriptures, it kind of messes with me during my sermon because I'm like wanting to stay on a certain course, and I'm worried about fitting her information, so I'm just going to give it to her. Psalms 34 says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast with the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Just like what she said up here. And I sought the Lord, and he heard me. He hears you every time. He knows where you're at. He knows the situation because he knew the situation's already going to be there in front of you. He's been trying to prep you. Even though you think you can do it, but you can do it. Even though the door looks closed, the door will be open to you. And he says, and he delivered me from all my fears. Not some of them. Not the one I fear the most, but all of them. Amen. Now, how many people in here today is afraid of something? You can be delivered of that today. Right now at this moment. And how does it start? It starts with praise. Yes. Praising to him. The things we're going to talk about today, number one is we have to have the right atmosphere. We have the choice to make what we can make out of this day, Charlie. When we get up in the morning, the first few minutes of the day is going to dictate our day, isn't it? The atmosphere that I set in the morning when I get up is going to dictate what today's going to be for Aaron Walker. The day that I have had at work, even though it might have been a bad day, but if I bring it home and walk in the door, my family is going to experience what I've been through. Have you ever walked into somebody's house? I've been here before. You go and you're going to go out on maybe like a dinner date, with another couple, and you show up to their house, they've been fighting, and you walk in, and you're like, something is not quite right here. Is it me? Are they not going to go eat with me? And you're sitting there and you're wondering, but see the atmosphere, they set the atmosphere of that room. When we go to the funeral home, what do we experience? Sadness. Because we are grieving with them people because the atmosphere has already been laid out because of the person that they lost. They've been in some church services I've been in before. And it's like almost like the Spirit's not flowing. It's not God's fault. It's the atmosphere that we have created there. In the temple, the one that they tore down and broke down and packed it back in Moses' day, it had to be to a certain arrangement. They were setting the atmosphere for God to come down and dwell on the mercy seat. It's no different today with us every day in our lives. We have to be willing to set the atmosphere of what we're around. What happened today to David there? And Saul was king, and he was possessed with the devil, with the demon or whatever, inside of him. And what happened? He was battling with depression. He was pretty well in so bad a shape. And the only relief that he would get when he said, go get David and have him come in and play a song upon the harp. And when David would come in and he started playing that harp and began to make beautiful music in the palace or whatever, and all of a sudden he would maybe start singing, what happened? He created a different atmosphere that was there in the room that day. And Saul began to get relief. You know what? One of my heroes in the athletic realm of things is Tim Tebow. I love him. You know what I love about him the most? He never changes. If he's interviewed in front of millions or he's speaking to a youth group somewhere, he is the same individual. And I have watched interviews with different people, and they say when he walks in the room before he speaks, it's like the whole place changes. Because what he's carrying inside of him, it's not can't keep up. But he's so disciplined with the Lord. When he comes in the room, he sets the mood. That's the kind of Christian I want to be, Brother Charlie. I'm not there yet, I'll be honest. There's sometimes I bring the old flesh there and walk through the situation. I don't set the mood just right. But one day I want to be. And I'm striving to be. Number 2. The right energy source. What are you plugged into today? You want that breakthrough? Then what kind of energy source are you plugged up? Are you plugged up to the Holy Ghost, which we should be tapped into? You know what? We go and we question people many times, don't we? Things we're striving through. Things that we're going through. I fight through the same things that you do every day in my life. I struggle with things. I put up with people that I think I shouldn't have to put up with. And I go through the same ideas that you guys do. You know, should I quit? Should I walk away? But no, he tells you to stay and stand and be there. Because I'm plugged into the right energy source. You know what? There are certain electrical motors that won't even run without them being hooked up to the right energy source. You cannot run a 120 volt motor on 240. It will burn up. It's just like us today. What are you plugged into? Are you tapped into that Holy Spirit? He says, I will teach you and lead you and teach you and show you of all things. Not just some of it, but all of it. Any question that you may have, he will give it unto you. In other words, I'm terrible with Scripture. Knocking, it shall be opened. Seeking, ye shall find. What's the other one, Ralph? Ask, and we shall be given to you. Don't that cover everything we go through each and every day of our lives? But we'd rather go to our parents for advice, which that's a good source to go to probably, or we want to go to our pastor for it, when deep down we truly know the answer because it is in our hearts. The journey that he has for you today is your journey. The path that you are on, it's your path and nobody else's path. You cannot walk my path, and I cannot walk your path. But we have to be plugged up to the right energy source. What was it Paul talked about? Man, I've been debating to hit this or not. I don't know what everybody will think about it. But he's telling me to. Woo! Pray with an unknown tongue. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. This might not be for everybody, but this is what I'm going through. This is where I want to get to. I've been a Christian for many years. I've been a minister for many years. Let me tell you something. I have stepped over in a different realm that I'm not used to. I've seen things in the last 6 or 7 years here that I'm not used to. And some of it is still growing on me just a little bit. But I am interested in it. And I'm curious about it. Now our problem is we want to turn the deaf ear to it. And we want to say, well, I don't want no part of it. But how do we expect to grow and be connected to the man above if we're not able to connect with him in his own language? Think about it. I can't speak Japanese because I'm not Japanese. I'm Appalachian American. Aren't we? I can talk out to him when he's trying just about anybody else. And I get mad when somebody makes fun of me. It's where I was raised. It's probably where I'm going to die one day if he don't come back. And I'll be somewhere in this area where she chooses to put me. Or he decides to put me. It might be up on a shelf. I don't know. It's up to them. I'm not worried about it because I'm plugged up to the right source and where I'm going. 1 Corinthians 14:2 says, we're going to go with it, Lord. Oh, Lord. How can you preach it when you've not experienced it? For he who speaks in a tongue does not speak to me, but to God, for no one understands him. However, in the Spirit he speaks mysteries. And what has got my curiosity is, what is he going to tell me, Charlie, when I finally get there? We have to be willing to get in our prayer closet, to tune out all the distractions. Like we talked about the cell phone last time I was up here. Get rid of that cell phone for about 5 minutes and lock yourself. It might be in a bathroom shower. It might be in a towel closet. It might be in a man cave with nothing on. But tune into Him, and I hope and I pray that He's going to deliver to me what I'm seeking for. And I know He'll give it to you. Paul said that I don't speak it in front of you because I don't want to confuse you, but when I'm to myself, I speak to Him in His language. That's the language that I want to understand. That's the language I want to interpret to me. Now this might not be for you, and I'm not judging you, but it's for me. And He told me to share it with you. That's what I done. You know what I just did? I stepped out on a limb. And maybe I had to do that before it can start happening. We have to be willing to get out of ourselves. We have to be willing to take the shirt off every now and then. We got to be willing to kick off the shoes and get on the holy ground. Oh, goodness. I never thought He took me there. It speaks about it in the upper room. It speaks about it in Acts chapter 2, Acts chapter 19, Acts chapter 10, 1 Corinthians 14. If it is in there, it's for our benefit. And I'm not knocking anybody that don't want to do that. I'm not. And I'm not knocking other churches. But it's for me. Woo. Can I move on, Lord? Get out. Thank you. I had about 4 more verses, but He said you can go on there. I'm like, thank you. One baby steps. You don't know how nervous that was for me to say that. Number 3 is the right information. We surround ourselves with the right atmosphere. Woo. What was the other one? The right energy source, and that's the right information. Jeremiah says 15 and 16. Your words were found, and I ate them. And your words was to me the joy and rejoicing of my heart. The right information, the right process. Where are you going for your information? Who do you turn to? Now listen, there's a lot of us, we've been down a rough road, a hard road. Now I know we got people that's had struggles in life. Let me tell you something. You look at me and you think his life's good. I mean, you need to get to know me. I have struggled just like what you have. I went through depression and know what it's like. I know what it's like to wake up with no peace. I know what it's like to lay down at night and you get no peace. And I was a Christian when I went through it. And I was preaching when I went through it. And I went through it for about 1.5 years. And a lot of people don't know it, but I proclaim it now because what He's delivered me through it. And I know that if He delivered me, He'll deliver you. But we got to have the right information. I would go to people sharing, and I would talk to people about depression. And yeah, the doctor said, well, I can put you on medication. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to be dependent on a pill for it. And I would talk to people that said, oh man, just shake it off. I know what it's like for somebody to tell you to shake it off, and you can't shake it off. In fact, it's a glue to you. I know what that's like. I've been through it. But I'm telling you, I promise you that there's an end to your road. But you got to have the right information. You got to be plugged up to the right source. Even though I was even a minister, I was plugged up, but you know what? I wasn't getting the right information. But there was one day that I stood up and I believed in what I was serving. And I said, from this day on, I'm not carrying it no more. And He relieved me from it. Just like the snap of the finger, I felt different. And if He does it for me, He can do it for you. You can drop the pills. You can drop the alcohol in a heartbeat. But we've got to be plugged up to the right source. Because the source will provide. The source will guide us. The source will bring people to us that we need. The right people. He will give you to the right church. You know what? You may have went down a road that will never be explained, but one day He will reveal it to you. Who knows that you are visiting this church right now because you're supposed to be here? How do you know you're not going to be the next one of the leaders in this church? How do you know that next year you might be back there teaching the kids about Jesus? Or you might be an usher, but you'll have a job when you come here. How do you know this at the starting point for you? Even though the road looks bad and it's been rough to get through, but sometimes that's the way it is. Great men in the Bible that you read about, they've been through it too. They know what it's like to run for their lives. People after them, a whole army falling down to the seaside like Brother Taylor preached so wonderful the other night. How you're chased by this world, by things of this world. He knows everything you go through. But we got to have the right information. Gideon, when he talked to Gideon, he come to Gideon. Where did he find Gideon? Down by the rocks. You know what? He was in such a bad shape that he was trying to raise food between a little bit of grass that was in between rocks. Now, how bad was he? He was hiding. Are you hiding? What are you running from? What has got you so scared to where you have reigned and reigned and reigned? He comes down to Gideon, what he tells him. In Gideon, Judges 6 and 12, and the angel of the Lord appeared. That's what you've already experienced, more likely. The angel of the Lord has appeared unto you. He himself, Christ, appeared to you. What's happened? And he said unto him, the Lord is with you. Aren't you glad every situation that you're in, he calms your nerves right away? Usually it's fear not, for it is I. Don't be afraid, it's me. He tells you who it is. The Lord said, the Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor. You are a valor person right now. It don't matter where you came from. It don't matter where you was raised. It don't matter who mommy and daddy was. It don't matter what family you was from. You are serving Christ. You are a mighty man of valor. You are important to him. Amen. That's right, brother. You are important to him. Don't never forget that. He loves you almighty. Even though we have all come through different walks of life, just like Gideon right here, Gideon was so afraid to do what he was told to do. Just as you and I am here today. See, I might be seeking a spiritual gift. You might be seeking a different way of life, a new ministry, or just a fresh start. But it all comes from the same source. The same fishing hole. I caught my fish. I'm going home. Have you got a rod and reel today? Have you got bait to get in that hole? You know what? It's filled with plenty of fish. Whatever you desire, all you have to do is throw in it. That man knows all about it. He's better than me. He's better than me. Where you at, Philip? Is he here? He's probably fishing. But Gideon was worried about this. And I ain't going through all Gideon, but he was so worried. The Lord told him, he said, go down to the camp and see what people think of it. Go down there. And here's the key point. I want to tell you something right now. Always remember this. God doesn't call you like you are. He calls you like you're going to be. Amen. Remember that. We're going to read that one more time. God doesn't call you like you are. He calls you like you're going to be. And he told Gideon to go down there, and he started to find out how bad these men was afraid of Gideon. And here's Gideon. He's like tore all pieces, like, man, I don't know if I can do this, Lord. And he goes down there, and here's some guys in the tent talking about how they had this dream about Gideon and the king and the Israel was coming down, and they were scared to death. He didn't have to do nothing. He said, Gideon, see how they see you? In other words, he's trying to give him confidence. This is how they look at you. Step up and be that person that I'm calling, Gideon. That's where some of us are today. Step up and be the person that I called you to be. Don't be the person you was 5 years ago when I called upon you. Be the person that I envision you of being now. Amen. Not yesterday, but today. Can I use you, Pastor? Is it all right if I use your story? I love his story. I love that is a power couple. Because she got saved first. And I thought of them when this all come to me. And I thought of them how she was saved first. And I've even heard him say it from his pulpit. He was mad because she done it. And then I love the story when he said that, I'm going to have to do something because he knew he had to do something. And who knew? And I thought of him so much. Who knew, standing on that riverbank, where you was going to be right now? Just a common country boy. Was it on the tug, Pastor? Standing on the tug. How did he know that years down the road that he would be at this church, right here, right now, feeding you and I from his pulpit? And I guarantee you, when he was standing on the tug, that was the last thing on that boy's mind. Because he was probably like me. Lord, I just want to walk in, be in the church pew, and every now and then feel good, Charlie, and just stand up and tell what the Lord's done about me, and then go about it. See, it was my own time that I was worried about. But when he calls you and starts putting stuff on you, he wants to call you the person that you're going to be. Not right now. Imagine David, when he walked in there and Jesse said, well, I've got one more boy. But he's out feeding my sheep. And he said, go get him. And all these great men come walking through his brothers, And he's like, it's got to be this one. No, not him. And all of a sudden, here come a little boy, probably about big as, I can't remember his name. What is it? Jonathan. Probably he walks in. And here he comes walking in. And all of a sudden, the prophet's like, oh, let me get old. Right when he walked in the door, it wasn't the appearance that he was looking at. It was the anointing inside. Just what you got. He's got a special anointing for your life, but you got to be willing to be called the person that you're going to be. Come on. Not who you are right now. We'll move on. Number 2 is the right location. Number 4. The right location. There's a prophet there one time, and he's at the brook, wasn't he? Went to the desert. Kings 17:7 and 4 it says, and it will be that you shall drink from the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. And he stayed there. It was all dried up, but he had to move. To a little woman's place, wasn't it? You got to move. You know what? We got to be willing to move. We got to be willing to change locations every now and then. We got to be willing to get out of what we call the comfort zone here a lot of times. You got to be willing to step and start walking. Then you'll start running. Then you'll start jumping. But you got to be willing to change location. You got to be willing to get out of the environment because the environment was dead he was in. It was all dried up. If he had stayed, he probably would have perished. He said, move. We got to be willing to move. Change location. With this walk that I'll share this with you real quick. I'm trying to hurry. This walk that I'm in right now, that I've been in, he had me change locations. And I didn't want to. I stayed and stayed and stayed, and I got to the point where I was miserable. I wasn't happy. You know why? It's nothing against where I was. It's not a body, it's an individual thing. At that moment, I couldn't do what he wanted me to do at that moment. And he had to, and it was dried up for Aaron Walker. Even though the person right beside me, Kathy in the pew, was all filled up, because that's where they were supposed to be. He told me to change locations. I hung on till I didn't have no more nails on my fingers. Like a kid who's going to get whipped. I hung on all I could. Until one day I said, well, Lord, I tell you, if this is what you want, now listen. I already know. But I was not wanting to hear it. Okay? I already knew deep down. But I didn't want to face the music about what I said. So, what do we do? I'm just like Gideon. I want to throw that fleece out there. So I'm sitting about over there where Kim and Jerry is, because I was going to both places. You know what I mean? Can't straddle the fence. Even in a Christian walk, and even in a spiritual walk, can't straddle the fence. You got to be in your calling or you're out of your calling. And I was hanging on. And I was sitting right over there, and I said, well, Lord, you know how we are. You know how you want to bargain with him? I was like, all right, Lord. I'm standing over there. I'm like, all right, give me a sign. Let me tell you something. If you don't want the truth, I won't ask for a sign. In a matter of 4 minutes, it was like the next person just jumped up for, I think it was Christina, to tell you the truth. And she got up here, and she was testifying, and I'm sitting right there, and all of a sudden she told me, well, she was telling everybody it was me, right there. She said, and I can't remember it all, but I remember this one line. You cannot live for men. You've got to live for God. Amen. I was like, you could have knocked me over back there. I was like, all right, that's one. That's one. Do another one. In a matter of an hour and a half, he gave me 2 more. I can't remember the signs, but I remember the last one was, it was on my couch in the living room. He gave it to me. I looked at her and I said, I gotta go. Gotta go. You've got to be willing to switch locations in your walk with him. It's not all about certain situations. Sometimes we get wrapped up in our denomination stuff. And I'm not preaching on the church or anything, but sometimes we get so caught up in it, and we are missing all the big picture back here behind us because we're focusing on what Mama and Papa done. I'm focused on what Uncle Earl did. I'm focused on how this person done it. Whenever God back here is trying to say, I don't want you to be like them people. I've got your own road. I've got a road made for you. Just look at them and I'll direct you. I'm going to try to do 2 more. I'm going to quit, all right? The right people. This walk that you're in, you got to have the right people around here. You got to have the right people. The product that you see, I'm going to share myself right here once again too, because that's the only way I know how to preach. You may be able to. I know some of you you're sitting there today about maybe he said this, maybe he said that. Well, you know what? If you're already thinking that, you're not going to receive what he's got. But you got to be willing to listen. The person you see before you right now, there's so many people that have dropped themselves into this old boy that made me who I am. It all started back there in Sunday school in the third. Mr. Brewer over here. Started when I was 17 years old. Then it started with awesome pastors that I had. Brother Otis Steele and James Ray Spalding. People that dropped themselves into me. Great many men, great men, Ralph and Steve, and even young men, Matt Crum and Dale Crum, So many people, I took the good out of them. I'm just teasing. But I always took a little something out of each person that I've ever come across. And it even started with my raising. I had great parents, great grandparents, great aunts and uncles. There's probably hundreds of people that have dropped themselves into me and made me for who I am. But you know what? I could have shut it all away. I could have shut the door on them. A lot of times when God sends us great people in our lives, we shut the door. We don't want to listen to them. Be willing to listen to everybody. Take what you want out of the conversation to what God's telling you and develop yourself. It's a training facility, really. It's almost like in athletics. You walk into the gym and the coach will show you, all right, I want you to do basketball ball handling drills. Go. Ball handling drills. All right, now we're going to do 3-minute layups. Go. Now we're going to go over the offense. How many times, I know we got a lot of guys that play sports, how many times did the coaches chew us out because we wasn't hustling? We wasn't getting there quick enough. We wasn't moving our feet. We're not jumping high enough. And we're like, God, man's on my back all the time. But he was trying to make the best basketball player out of you that he could. Same way with the Lord. I give you the scriptures. I show you the gifts. Use them. Practice them. Do better. I grant you more patience. I help you with temperance. I put love in your heart. Use them. There's no difference. The same effort that we put into things like basketball and football and other things in our lives, it will develop over our spiritual walk too. We have to be willing to work for Him and allow people to come in our lives. Number 6, we've got to have the right focus. Who was that preacher joke? Bobby Perry, wasn't it? Bobby Perry. Gosh, I could have packed his water bottle. And I would be proud to pack his water bottle. Job 42:10 says, and the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had had before. Are we there today with that? Can we lay aside the troubles that we're in to pray for another? Focus. Focus. There's so many distractions of our jobs, so many distractions that even it can be in our family sometimes. We all get caught up in financial stuff, decorating the house, or doing this, or whatever we're doing. It can be distractions, but we can't lose our focus. What was it the little woman did whenever she was sitting there and she had the little boy with her? And she said, I got a few things here I can fix to eat. And she fixed them. Then she said, well, should I give them to the man of God or keep it for herself? Now, she starved. She was willing to give it to the Lord, to the prophet. What you keep in your own hand shrinks, but what you put in God's hand multiplies. It might be the last dollar in your pocket. It might be the last orange citrus mint. But will to give it, you will multiply. What was it he done for her? That food for 3.5 years kept coming. Kept coming. Kept coming. Well, I hope your lifesavers start coming out there. We're all good. It kept coming. It kept coming. It kept coming. It kept coming for 3.5 years. When she thought that she in her mind knew that she was going to die. We have to be willing to not look at what's in front of us, even though we may look at the outcome, Kathy, and we think that it's horrible, but we don't know our very next action can open a whole new doorway that we don't even and we can't dream enough about. I like to thank Sister Kathy. Last weekend, her and I had a conversation out there. And she shared with me something that the Lord showed her about me. Thank you, Kathy. I helped me get focused back. You never know what one little kind word and one thing that you may have done years ago, and all of a sudden she comes back and tells me again, it's like, you know what? She is right. That's what my calling was. I lost focus in it. We don't know. Last one, the right time. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season. A time for every purpose under heaven. Can we all stand for it?